My parents were caught showing favoritism to my twin sister.
I, 16M, have a twin sister, Alyssa, 16F, who is my parents' favorite. My parents have wanted a girl for the longest time, and when they found out they threw a big party and didn't tell anyone I was in her stomach and a boy until after birth. Since we were both born, it was pretty obvious who my parents loved more. For Christmas and our birthdays, Alyssa would get iPhones and tablets and MacBooks. I got $20 toys you can easily find on Amazon or anything like that. Whenever my aunts or uncles would call it out, they would lie and tell them he never asked for any, or he said he wanted this. I was too young to understand, so I never asked. But by the time I was 12, I started to realize Alyssa had got more attention and compassion towards my parents. The only times I actually received attention were at ceremonies I was invited to because of my impressive achievements at schools and sports. But immediately after, we would run to the Apple Store or any expensive designer shopping place to buy my sister something as an apology for leaving her behind. So a couple of weeks ago, it was me and my sister's sweet 16th birthday party, and obviously it was all about her. The decorations had her name on it, the cake was yellow and white, her favorite colors, and nothing was about me. Everyone said happy birthday to me and gave me presents, but my mother immediately took them and told me I was spoiled for hoarding them away from my sister. By then, I was already pretty pissed at my parents for saying that, but after a couple of hours, it was time for the cake. Me and my sister sat beside each other and she hugged me. Because in general, my sister wasn't a brat and treated me well since half of my life I took care of her while my parents worked and helped her out with schoolwork. Then the cake them and my aunt noticed how my name wasn't written on it and asked about it. I hopped in and they excused themselves saying they forgot. I questioned them saying, "How do you forget to put your own child's name on their sweet 16th birthday cake?" And that's when we started to argue. My sister started to cry as I told her it's fine and it wasn't her fault and it was my parents for showing blatant favoritism our entire lives. That's when it happened. My father yelled out, "So what if she's the favorite? You're only good at school while your sister is amazing at everything." And everyone gasped and went silent for a good 2 minutes. After that, my grandparents and basically my whole family verbally tackled my parents for showing favoritism and that I'm staying with my aunt until I go to college. My parents' faces dropped as all the years of favoritism and excluding their son, the consequences finally got to them. They tried to apologize to me, but I was a sobbing mess and drove with my aunt to her house. We got me the new iPhone yesterday and a car as an apology for my parents mistreating me my entire life. And next Tuesday, we're going to the Bahamas for a week during winter break. Now they've been shamed and shunned by the whole family except for my sister, as I told them she wasn't mean to me whatsoever and none of it was her fault. What should I do?
I'm banned for life from the Yerkes Primate Research Facility, Emory University.
I'm a commercial photographer. When I was starting out, I would work as a photo assistant helping other photographers on their various photo shoots. Around 1993, when I was 23, I took a day gig with a photographer, and we were to go to the Yerkes Primate Research Facility, part of Emory, to photograph a lead researcher for a magazine cover. The photographer and I had worked together many times before this. We decided to photograph the guy up high on one of the observation decks with a bunch of Macau monkeys in the background. The pen was roughly a 100-yard square and housed about 80-plus monkeys. This was to be the background of the photos. We were shooting 214 film at the time with Hasselblad cameras. The film comes on a roll, and once you shoot the last frame, you remove the roll from the back of the camera, and there was a little moisture-actuated tab. You lick and seal the roll for development later. Here comes the story. As I remove one of the rolls from the camera, it accidentally slips out my hands, rolls on the deck, and falls into the pen of monkeys. These poor little monkeys were in such a controlled environment that anything new was like a major life event. One monkey grabs the roll of film, holds it up in the air, and starts screaming. This gets all the monkeys pumped up and they all start running from one corner of the pen to the other, back and forth, back and forth. It's a dusty cloud with like 80 monkeys yelling. Eventually, the roll of film comes unwound, exposing it to light and making it useless. Around the same time, a group of Emory students come around looking to feed the same group of monkeys and see all the commotion. At this point, our subject is pissed and says the photo shoot is over. The person leading the students is also pissed and is demanding to know what's going on. It's a pretty chaotic scene with me dropping a roll of film as the starting point. The group feeding them finally gets the monkeys to calm down. We walk down to apologize, and one of the other researchers has a monkey in her arms. The monkey is dead. Turns out when Macau monkey die, their tongues stick out and turn snow white. Who knew? The woman looks at me and says, "This was Nadine, and she didn't see very well." Well, crap. Apparently, Nadine hit her head on the playground equipment that was in place for them to play on. Besides, I'm very sorry. I simply didn't know what else to say. We packed up our stuff and left. The next day, the media relations person called the photographer and threatened to sue me. The photographer informed them that I was a poor 23-yo photo assistant and I didn't have anything worth suing for. They asked her for my full name and told her I was banned forever from the Yerkes research facility. It's been almost 30 years since this happened, and being banned from there has not posed any issues at all. The magazine editor loved the photos, and we all, except Nadine, moved on. For a while, all my friends called me the Monkey Killer.
Fake friends expanded rumors about me. Now they want me back.
The context was years ago. Context: I was in a group of 6 persons. We were good friends, but I always was left behind. If they wanted to see a movie, they would tell me that there wasn't any seat available on the cinema. I remember when we went to MC Donald's and they faked that one of their mother wanted they to come home, but only 3 persons, we were 4. When I came home, I called her mother, and obviously she told me that she never said that. The next day, they were mad at me. It was like this. Until I decided to change high school. Because I was the bullied kid in my class, I wasn't my first time changing school. When I was 9, I had to change school for the same reason. So I told my mother that I wanted a school far away. That's what she did. She put me in a school far away, and every morning I had to take the bus. In the new school, I was the quiet kid, so I didn't have friends. One day I decided to go visit my friends to their school. When I arrived there, everyone was laughing at me, and my friend just ignored me. I went home and cried. I didn't know what was happening. Since that, I tried putting contact with them. No luck. A month later, I discovered that they were expanding rumors about me. At first, I didn't believe that, but with the time, I knew something was going on. Now it's been years since that. I didn't remember them. I was living a good life. Until I received a call of a number I didn't have. I took the call. I heard a familiar voice. It was one of my friends. She wanted to talk with me. I hung out the phone and started crying. My boyfriend came here to help me. After some minutes, I calmed down. Then the phone rang again. It was the same number. I didn't touch the phone, I just stayed there. Then I received a message from that number. "Hi, my name. I understand you don't want to talk with us after what we did. We are really sorry. I don't know why we did that. I hope you can forgive us." How I didn't block her? Well, I never had her contact, so I couldn't block her. Another message. "If you want, we can go for a walk and talk." That was strange. I was angry and sad at the same time. My heart wanted to say yes and meet them at somewhere, but my head wanted to fuck them. Make them suffer like they did to me. Then some hours passed and another message from her. "I just want you to know that 3 of their names are in jail. We can talk and maybe free them." Now everything makes sense. They wanted my money, no, my friendship. It's 5 a.m. I don't want to say anything. I'm so dumb that I could screw it. It wouldn't be the first time, so I prefer looking help on the internet. What should I do?
My sister only came by for presents and food.
My sister showed up for the holidays with her 2 kids. She brought no presents for anyone, and once the kids and her immediately got their presents, she just complained for 15 minutes and they left. She later came by to grab some food from the house to take and dipped. Made both my parents really upset, and my dad had to explain how there are givers who will take, givers who don't take, takers who are willing to give, and takers who only take. Unfortunately, my sister is a selfish taker who only thinks of herself and will do anything to get her kids off her back. We can't even call her out because there's always some form of angry rebuttal for her selfishness.
Thank you for watching Reddit Stories. Please feel free to like and subscribe. May you all have a blessed day.